Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. I think in the last 2 months, I've probably thought about energy security more than I have in the last 10 years. The lithium market has certainly changed. And if you haven't rebalanced your portfolio already, or you are considering it, this is a lithium story I think you should listen to. Just our forward-looking statement. It's available on our website, so I won't dwell on that. Q2 Metals, we have the Cisco Lithium project, which is located in Quebec, the James Bay region. Our team, as you can see there, Alicia Milne is our CEO, president, based in Quebec in Canada. Based in Vancouver in Canada. She's been in the public markets for a long time, very experienced, and fantastic to have her leading the team. We've recently been joined by Keith Phillips on the board, who is also now our executive chair. Neil McCallum, our VP Exploration, who was a key part of the discovery team of the Patriot Battery Metals and has been with us since converting to a lithium company. And myself, Simon Cohn, I'm one of the directors. I'm a mining engineer based out of Australia. The rest of the team you see there is all based in Canada as well. Our capital structure, we've currently got about $15 million in the bank, issued in outstanding shares, just short of 200 million shares out. Our market capitalisation is well north of $500 million at the moment. I think this is actually the old presentation. Yep. We just put out our resource this morning. So that was news to the market about 5 hours ago. So we haven't actually traded on that yet, but the market is aware of it. So we announced our maiden resource. It's 295 million tonne at 1.36% Li2O. And that places us from a hard rock lithium project about fourth globally. So it's a very significant discovery that we've been building on for quite some time. In terms of location, the Cisco project is located in the southern part of the James Bay region. So you see on that map there where the other, I guess, well-known lithium projects are, with the Shakachuanan, Galaxy, Moblin and Whabouchi, all owned by different players that are listed. Cisco project is 150 kilometres only north of Matagami, which is the end of the railway line for the Canadian National Rail. So from there, we would take a product south down to Bécancour, where there's a number of processing facilities being developed. The project area itself, you can see from that map, the Billy Diamond Highway, which is the main arterial road for the region, runs through our project. It's a sealed bitumen highway, and our discovery area, which is highlighted there in red, is only located about 10 kilometres from that highway. We're in the process at the moment of permitting a new camp for ourselves and our own access road, which will allow us to operate without the use of helicopters and reduce our cost of discovery. In terms of some of the intercepts that we've achieved to date, they certainly are world-class. From a hard rock lithium perspective, there's projects that are delivering 20 to 50 metre intercepts. We've been very fortunate with the Cisco project that a lot of our intercepts have been well north of the 100 metre interval. Including what we believe is the largest intercept globally. Hole 44, you'll see there, 457 at 1.65%. So on a percent metre basis, we're not aware of a hole that's larger than that globally. And that's really allowed us to underpin the project with a very large resource as a maiden resource. So our exploration target, which you'll see on the screen here, which we put out last year, was 215 million tonne to 329 million tonne. And I think the guys will just swap to the new presentation for me now, which will actually have those slides. But we've delivered within that range, and we're very proud of having done that in a very short amount of time. We've only picked up the project since 2024, and in that short amount of time, we've managed to drill what's potentially the fourth largest hard rock lithium project globally. There we go. So this is the new presentation out this morning. I'll just skip through. I'll just quickly touch on this because this does have the updated cap table. So as I said, 500 million market capitalisation, and we've had great coverage so far from Canaccord, Cormark, as well as Argonaut. And trading volume, for those that are interested, about 600,000 shares traded on average a day. So it's allowing institutions to now play in our project. There's the resource statement that I was referring to before. Predominantly open cut, so 270 million tonne in the open cut and a further 24 million in underground, so 294 million tonne at 1.36, which puts us just short of 10 million tonne LCE. So as far as hard rock projects go, that's a pretty significant discovery. Further to that, there's some areas that didn't quite make it into the resource because of drilling density, and you'll see there's a further exploration target we put out this morning of another 44 to 67 million tonne, and we'll look to convert that as we continue to drill with the 4 rigs that we have on site. These are just some cross sections through that mineral resource area, and you'll see on the right-hand side there, that's a cross section that runs from the western side through to the eastern side as a transect through the deposit. And you'll see the ratio there of mineralisation to basically non-mineralised zone is very high. And that's quite unusual for open pits and potentially leads to a low strip ratio as we work through the economics. And you'll see the conceptual pit shell that sits on there. And similarly, when we look at from a long section, this is a cut from southwest to the northeast, you'll see, again, a very large mineralised body. And that's where we're seeing those sort of 400 type metre intercepts through the centre of the mineralisation. I guess the next key part of any project, and also critical for us, is what metallurgy looks like. And we did some phase 1 metallurgy work last year and demonstrated that through the HLS testing that DMS is appropriate for this project. So we've achieved circa 70% recoveries while achieving great concentrate grades as well as reasonably low iron content. And we've currently got phase 2 of that metallurgical testing undergoing at the moment. So the results will be out soon. I've talked through about the location. This is just a slide showing that permitting of the road and the camp that I was talking about before. So you can see where the highway passes through our project, and yeah, will just give us a lower cost discovery as we move forward. One of the things that's been really important for the project, and Alicia's been taking the lead on this, is community engagement. From day one, we set out to make sure that we were communicating with the communities and making sure that they were a part of the dialogue from day one. And we've since brought on Simon Gaven, who's our ESG VP, who's done a fantastic job on building on what Alicia started. So we've had great engagement with the local traditional owners as well as the local tallyman, has the traditional hunting grounds where Cisco is located, and that's right down the southern part of the Namaska Cree Nation. We've also done a lot of work on making sure we put in formal ESG frameworks in place. So Simon has been leading that with the development of our Eco Logo certification, and that's certainly a process that we're continuing with to make sure that we're up there with any world-class company. So just in terms of the timeline, as I said, it was discovered, or we purchased the project in 2024. We built on the initial discovery. Through a couple of cap raisings, we're able to continue to drill and define the exploration target in 2025, which led to our resource just this morning. 4 rigs still drilling, which is fantastic. Plenty of room for scope for development and expansion. Metallurgical testing, as I said, is underway. Permitting for the new camp and road is in place, and we'll be commencing baseline studies, which will lead us into our PEA, which will kick in at the end of this quarter, end of the quarter of this year and early next year. I won't talk to the supply demand, as I'm sure most of you are aware of that. So finally, just Y2Q2 metals. Resource puts us in top 4 globally. PEA targeted for first quarter next year. We've got our permitting and baseline studies happening. We're in an amazing jurisdiction, very close to infrastructure, which is really important for a spodumene project, and we're poised for growth. So thank you very much.